So here are your instructions for today. So Tuesday, November 15th. And so we're going to jump forward a little bit and we're going to talk about cultural landscapes today. You're going to start an in-class assignment. Tomorrow we'll come back and we will do our party, our 8 billion party. So come prepared to play the role of a member of your candy culture. If you were gone yesterday and you didn't get a candy culture, I can give you one in class tomorrow and you should be good to go. But that will happen Wednesday, November 16th. Okay, so today you're gonna just review on your own the notes on the cultural landscape. So you're gonna open this up. You can kind of go through it. So cultural landscape, once again, as we talked about yesterday, was the question that a lot of you struggled with on the quiz yesterday, but it's the built forms that cultural groups create in inhabiting the earth. So it's going to be things like the buildings, it's going to be signage, it's going to be roads, it's going to be anything that is like built up, humans have built. Anytime type of alteration to the landscape, farming, industrial. And so it reflects the local building materials of the people, what they have. It reflects the economic standing, their cultural beliefs, values, experiences. Oftentimes we see language and religion very much reflected in the cultural landscape, what they value, who has power, and then the technology that the group has. So understanding the cultural, historical, and demographic context of a place can help us analyze the cultural landscape. So sometimes knowing the history of the place can really help us understand that cultural landscape, but we're going to try to attempt to analyze some cultural landscape, maybe without a whole lot of context today. So the cultural landscapes are combinations of physical features, but definitely how we alter those physical features and how we use those physical features. Agricultural, industrial practices, language and religion, sequent occupancy, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and then different types of architecture and land use. So the couple key terms from this section, placelessness is this idea that a lot of times landscapes, because we are such a global society, landscapes have diffused all over the world. And so you might see, this is a picture of Tokyo and this is a picture of New York City, I believe. I can look at that really closely. But you'll notice that the downtown areas of many cities, no matter where you are going to look very similar. And that's because those landscapes have very much diffused. Or you might see similar landscapes. I think one of this is from Burnsville and one of them is from like Texas. And so different landscapes, especially with chain restaurants or chain stores, are going to look very similar. Strip malls. So placelessness is this idea that because landscapes have diffused, that there starts to be the standardization of our built environment without a lot of local distinctiveness. So we can't necessarily tell where we are from some landscapes, but some landscapes we definitely can. And then another term is sequent occupancy or sequent occupants, and that refers to the fact that oftentimes places have been controlled by different groups of people over time. And so because of that, there's almost a layered approach that some different areas have evidence of different cultural groups. So an example would be Dar es Salaam in Tanzania has had really the lasting impact of multiple different groups who have had power in that region. And so originally, the Arabs from Zanzibar, well, not originally, but one group that colonized or kind of that had power in that region were Arabs from a region of Zanzibar. And then it was colonized by Germans. And then eventually it was colonized by the British. And the British imported a lot of workers from India. And so all of those different cultural groups, Arab influence, German influence, British influence, and then Indian influence, have all had influence on the region. And oftentimes it's very much this layered. So you can see aspects of different cultural groups as well as indigenous and native cultural groups as well. And we'll talk more about this in class. Okay, so today you're going to be analyzing the cultural landscape. These are some questions to ask yourself. We're going to get to that in just a minute. Okay, so now you're going to jump back here. The most important thing that you're going to do today is probably watch this AP Classroom video. So when you click on it, you are going to go to AP Classroom. And this is, you're going to have to sign in. So make sure you sign into AP Classroom. This video has been assigned to you, but it's also linked directly here. And so you're going to click on it and you're going to find a video. It is about 10 minutes long. You're really going to pay close attention to this. The narrator talks about cultural landscape, what it is, and then she goes through a bunch of different pictures and she does her own analysis of those pictures and what we can tell about the people, the culture, and what we're kind of looking for as we look at different landscapes, because then you're going to be doing it on your own. So I do want you to really pay attention to this video. It's really important to help you understand how we analyze. And if we were in class together, we'd be actually watching the video together as a class. And then ultimately, you're going to go to this cultural landscape source analysis. You're also going to get Thursday to work on this. So I would say definitely get started on this today. But this is meant to be an in-class assignment that you're going to get some time today and Thursday to work on. So now you're going to try to analyze cultural landscape on your own. And you also can work with a partner on this. I'm fine if you work with a partner. You do need to submit your own assignment, however. So you're going to open up this map. And the map, you may ask you to sign into your ArcGIS account. You're going to do so by just clicking on the ISD 191 button. But you'll see this map of a whole bunch of dots from all over the world. And this map was actually collectively created by my students last year. And so if you click on one, each student was assigned a different country. And then they were asked to find different landscapes within that country. So you're going to choose one photo. You're going to choose 5 photos, but they need to be from different countries. And you'll notice if I click on a country that there are going to be multiple photos from each country. So I can choose, like, let's say I choose this country. This is from Sierra Leone. I can copy this image. I can put it in my document. So let's say this is going to be the landscape. I can make it smaller if I want to. And then I'm going to answer these questions. So what spatial patterns do you see? Okay, so I see some sort of farming going on. It's done in rows. A spatial pattern is just really anything that you see on the landscape. You can talk about the technology that's used. You can, although cultural landscape is not necessarily people, sometimes the people in the photo are helpful because we can see that this farmland is, being farmed by hand. And so we can talk about that spatial pattern. What conclusions can you draw? So there's a lot of different conclusions that we can make about a photo. We can talk about what does it tell us about the people and the culture. We can talk about what it tells about the development or the language or religion. And different conclusions are going to be drawn by different photos. And then you're going to also compare this landscape with another. So you could compare it to what you see around you in the United States. But what is one way that the spatial pattern is the same or different from another region of the world? So you can take a look at other photos on the map, or you can, think about your own landscape around you. And you're going to do that 5 times. You're going to choose 5 different pictures. So once again, the 5 different pictures do need to be from different countries of the world. But just remember that each country has multiple pictures. So you only need to pick one picture from each country. And you need to choose 5 different pictures. And if you start, trying to analyze a picture and you're not really getting what you you're not really understanding the picture, or it's too difficult to answer the questions, then just pick a different picture. So we'll come back to this on Thursday and we'll talk more about the cultural landscape, but that is your lesson for today. And then tomorrow I'll see you for our 8 billion party. All right.